The golden visa is gone. At least the version most people were chasing is. And if you're paying attention, that might actually be good news. Because the smartest investors I know aren't panicking. They're not scrambling to replace it, and they're definitely not rushing into bad deals just to qualify for something. Instead, they're quietly shifting strategy. And today I want to explain what they're doing instead and why it's actually smarter. Let's clear something up first. Portugal didn't suddenly shut its doors. The Golden Visa program still exists. What changed is real estate as a qualifying investment. That one adjustment created a lot of noise. Headlines made it sound like Portugal had turned anti-investor or anti-foreigner. That's not what happened. What actually happened is that Portugal decided it didn't want passive, extractive, capital-driving housing prices without adding much value to the economy. So, they removed the easiest path, not the smartest one, and that distinction matters. Here's the uncomfortable truth. The Golden Visa was rarely the best option. It was just the most convenient. It required large upfront capital. It locked people into illiquid assets. And it often pushed investors into overpriced properties chosen for compliance, not quality. Most serious investors didn't love it. They tolerated it. Because for them, the visa wasn't the strategy. It was a side benefit. And when that benefit disappeared, their core plan didn't collapse. That's your first clue. What's happening now is a shift away from entitlement-based investing towards strategy-based relocation. Instead of asking, what do I need to buy to qualify? Smart investors ask, what structure gives me flexibility, resilience, and control? And once you ask that question, entirely different options appear. What smart investors are doing instead. Let's talk about the three paths I'm seeing most often. Residency through income and lifestyle alignment. Many investors are realizing they don't need a special program at all. If you have reliable income, dividends, pensions, or remote business earnings, Portugal becomes accessible without locking hundreds of thousands into property. This path favors optionality, lower capital risk, lifestyle integration. Instead of forcing an investment to justify residency, residency becomes a natural extension of how you already live and earn. That's a major mindset upgrade. Business and operating investments. The second group is going deeper, not wider. Instead of parking money in assets, they're investing into operations. Small businesses, services, local partnerships, active ventures tied to the Portuguese economy. This approach does two things. It creates leverage and control. It aligns investors with what Portugal actually wants. It's more work, but it's also more durable. And serious investors prefer durability over convenience. Strategic funds and capital allocation. The third group is experienced capital. They're using regulated funds and structured investments, not as loopholes, but as tools. This route offers diversification, professional management, lower emotional involvement, cleaner compliance. It's not flashy, but neither is institutional investing. And that's exactly the point. Let me warn you about the most common mistake I see. People are rushing to replace the Golden Visa. They jump into bad funds, poorly explained structures, overpriced assets, advisors selling urgency. That's backwards. Residency should follow a strategy, not define it. If you feel rushed, you're already being misled. Is Portugal still worth it? Yes, but not for everyone. Portugal now favors long-term thinkers, integrated residents, strategic investors, people who plan beyond incentives. If you are only interested in Portugal because of a program, you might struggle. But if you're interested because of stability, geography, lifestyle, long-term positioning, then the opportunity hasn't disappeared, it's matured. The Golden Visa was never the real opportunity. Portugal still is, just not for people looking for shortcuts. If you're thinking long-term about capital, lifestyle, and strategy, this channel is for you.